This is part two of my stash. Basically having a bit of fun, as Steve said, in response to Steve Mottram's question when he actually showed us some of his lovely little stash he's got there. This is part two of my video of my stash. So first off, as you can see, there is my little air compressor which I use for my airbrushing. This is actually one that was donated to me by Warren Blanche from Strike Eagle Models. Free of charge, I must say, which was very, very generous of him. Admittedly, I have given her a good old clean up, Warren. Emptied the tank, and basically my brother's cleaned it out for me, so we've got her running well and truly to fine form now, and she's superb. So thank you once again, Warren. Anyway, moving on across here. Underneath in this box here is my portable spray booth, which I just basically usually use on my coffee table, put some paper down, kitchen towel, open her up, get her all set up, and Bob's your uncle with one a day. So that's that, okay. And as I say, I have actually got more. I'm actually in the middle of watching a build on a U-boat, so that is very, very interesting. I think it's from Aussie Trekkie in Australia, so nice vid, bud, keep them up. Anyway, as I say, got more of a stash here. Yes, more. First off, we've got the 88mm Flak 36 with artillery crew from Dragon. I got that just over a year ago, and I'm just looking for a suitable diorama base to put it in, like a sort of a pen or something. So if anybody's got any ideas where I can source one, just leave a comment or add a link. That would be very, very handy. Then we got the Easy 8 Sherman from Tamiya, which was the reboxing of the Tasker kit, and that does come with figures, just like the one I'm going to use in the M Group build. I'm going to be cross using the decals from my Italeri Sherman for this one. Reason being is because it's actually got slightly better detail on the casting, etc. So as and when I get around to that next year, that is going to be a build for next year. And then up here I've got the SDKF said 232 Schwere Panzer Kampfwagen, was it Panzer Sparwagen from the Afrika Korps, which is like a command vehicle, which I think at one time even old Rommel himself was using. Then up here, which was one donated to me by Wesley, is it Wesley Milesmore from the Pricks of Plastic. He sold this one to me, so that will be another future build. Up here I've got a little Ford GPA, which I recently got off eBay for a bargain of a price. And then moving on, I've got a nice 5cm pack 38 with Fallschirmjäger. So that will make a nice little vignette at some stage. And then up here I've got the old Citroen 11CV from Tamiya staff car, so that will go with a nice, well, actually might go with one with a Hinton. And then up here I've got Mirage Models Vickers E Mark A, which was used basically in a lot of the Eastern Bloc countries and in China, but not in our own core, unfortunately. And yet again another little mini art diorama, Walworth Park, which looks superb. And this interesting one here, this is from a company called RPM. It was a paper Panzer. It was going to be used as a reconnaissance vehicle, and I know Mike Cohen recently did one in one of his builds. So yes, that's the SDKF Z135. I think they pronounce it Beobachtungswagen. And yes, I got another Kugelwagen, this time a Afrika Korps version. Sorry if the video's coming out a little bit dark. Actually, I think if we get round this way, yeah, you'll be able to see a bit better. Here we go. And then up here, this was a recent acquisition, which was the German Flak Panzer IV, based on the Panzer IV chassis Wirbelwind. There we are, with the anti-aircraft gun. And then down here, another one which I got from Telford last year is Mini Arts Gaz MM Mod 1941 1.5 ton cargo truck, which looks a superb little kit. And then one which was recommended by Mike Cohen is the old Tamiya BT7, and I have got an interior set for this, so that will be a nice little build for next year. And then I've got the old Leopard A4, which will go alongside the Gepard. Okay, down here I've got Dragon's 6641 Panzer III Alps H, which is a superb looking kit. Tacom's Chieftain, this is the Mark 10. The reason I picked that was because of this, obviously, Berlin scheme, which is going to be a nice little one to do. And from what I've heard, it's a superb kit to build. And then down here, a little bit of a rarity. This is Dragon's Stug Alps A Michael Wittmann Barbarossa 1941. So that'll be a nice one to build. And then obviously I've got one which is one of Paul Bretland's current builds he's got ongoing, is the old Russian Kraz 260. And funnily enough, I actually got this at Telford last year as well, and he kindly held one by for me, so thanks again, Paul. And then down here, this is one I think Mike Cohen recently built on his vlog, which is on, I think, ISM's forum. So it was just a little sort of how-to do armour from basics, as it were. It's a little Sherman M4A3 Calliope with the old rocket launcher. And then down here you got the Schwerer Panzer Kampfwagen SDKFZ 2341 from Dragon 6298. Let's get my towel out of the way, sorry about that, guys. Looks a superb bit kit again. This is the command version, or you've got the alternate response of doing a command version. And then down here, another one I got from Paul Bretland is the 3.7cm flat 43 Aus Selbststrafaletta. I think I pronounced that right, or flat 43 as it's more commonly known. It does look a superb kit as well. And then Meng's Tortoise, that's a beast if ever there was one. And then I've got a Russian T-72 from Tamiya, which is the M1. Now I was thinking of doing that for the M group build, but I thought, nah, I'll go with the other one. And this one was the Christmas present I got as a Secret Santa on a hangout for the Bricks of Plastic last year. And it is an awesome looking kit, I can tell you. Up here I've got Dragon 6121 Sherman 555C, which is of the actual tank depicted which took out Michael Wittmann. And then obviously another one which I got from Timothy Iverts from Cheap Kits and Bits is the T3485 by Dragon, kit number 6203, and that's the one with the 85mm cannon. Looks an awesome kit. And this is an absolute beast of a kit. This is one that was actually designed near the end of the war. Only two of them actually were used in prototype form. They were the Maus German super tank, and I tell you, this is a beast. It makes the Tiger look like a ruddy little, well, scorpion tank next to this, to be honest with you. It's a beast. And then running down here, I've got Meng's T90A, which was recently built by Andreas Scar, who did a superb job of that. And then moving up, I've got Trumpeters, German E50, 75-ton standard Panzer. That was a paper Panzer. And also this one here, which would have been a development of the Tiger. And that's kit number 6683, which is Tiger 1 Alps H2. But as I say, it never saw the light of day. So that's that, guys. And then we're moving over to here. Okay, right, let's have a look in the first box. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's move that back. Right, first off, got the old BMW R75 from Tamiya. And then following that, the Stuart sorry, I was getting tongue-tied then. Stuart US Light Tank M3. Looks a super little kit. There is a little bit of aftermarket you can get on that, just to give it that little bit of extra detail, which I may well invest in. And then I've got a Dragon figure set here, which is the 20th Waffen Grenadier Division, Baltic State, 1944. Again, it looks an awesome set. Figures look superb, as you can see here. The detail on them is, well, say no more. And I've got another one of the Hanomag, which, as you know, I wasn't very successful with last year, so I bought another one. and I might well be cannibalising some of the parts off the previous build to get this one done. Okay, and then moving on, we've also got the 7.5cm anti-tank gun Pack 40 L46 from Tamiya. Nice little one to do for a vignette again. And then I've got a British Armour 6-pounder anti-tank gun, which funnily enough was a gun that my late Uncle Pete actually used to be based on. Awesome firing power on that as well. Or was it a 25-pounder? I think it was a 25-pounder. Then up here we've got the Tamiya SDKFZ 222 Leichter Panzer Power Wagon 4x4. Neat little kit. It's got some little actually added aftermarket etch parts with it, and an aluminium barrel, which is going to be awesome. And I'll possibly be using that as a Wittmann build for some time in the future, if I can source any reference material. And this is a nice one, which again I know Mike Cohen has built, along with the 35. So that'll be good. It's Dragon's 682 on Panzer Biop Wagon 5 Panther with a KWK 39 gun. Actually, that gun, believe it or not, was not even a gun. It was just a false thing. So it was just mainly used as a reconnaissance vehicle, and I think there was only about 4 ever used. And then down here we've got the British World War One Tank Mark IV Male, which comes with its own little motor, and I can't wait to get started on that beauty, I can tell you. Next to that we've got another set of Dragon figures, which is the 6th Army at Stalingrad 42-43. Again, usual high standard with the figures, etc. So it'll come handy for a future build. And then down here, this is going to be a nice little build, is the old Jeep Commando car. I've got a base I could possibly use that with, and some figures as well, so that's a future vignette. And then I've got the old British Universal Carrier Mark II, which I think is the reconnaissance version. And I think Lenny Brennard actually did a build on this in a D-Day group build around about 2 years ago, and he did an awesome job on it. So hence that's why I bought this one. So that's that box. And then, oh, actually at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, I've got a 1/32 Hunter Mark 58 SFGA9, which my late father actually started on, but unfortunately instructions are missing on it, so I've got to source them online. But I may well get some aftermarket just to give it that added detail and do that as a tribute build to my dad, because I think next year it will be 10 years since he passed away. So there you go. So I'll finish what he started, possibly. Or it may be one for the future, I don't know yet. So I'm just going to pack these away in that box. That's that. And pop them away. And then we're going on to this box. And as you can see here, I've got the Edouard Profi Pack Type 10I-16 Russian fighter. I think I've already done an inbox review on this if you look back. It does look a superb little kit, I have to say, and a neat little fighter. Then I've got the Willys Jeep, good old Willys Jeep from Tamiya, which is heartily recommended by Mike Cohen. So nice one there, bud. So I've definitely got one. That's for a future build. And then here, this is a recent release from Timmy, I think it's about a year old now, is the Jagdpanzer for 70V Lang, and that does look an awesome looking kit. Okay, next one. Here's one I got again from Wesley Elsmore when he was selling off some stash, is the old Vesp. That is an awesome looking kit. I might well get some aftermarket in just to give that added detail. And then down here, this was another one I got off Wesley, is the Italeri Sturmgeschütz Aus 3 Sub 3 Aus G. Again, very nice kit. Might get some full tracks and some added aftermarket for that. And this is another one I recently bought of a Panzer III, which is the desert version. It's the Aus L. Again, possibly this was used by Wittmann, I don't know. It's either that or the M. It's not well known, but we'll see. And then Mini Arts USV BR 76mm gun, mod 1941 with limber and crew. Again, you can get a base for this as well, in a separate kit. This is released from last year, which is Tamiya's Samua. Little French tank, very nice indeed, good level of detail. And here's my Cromwell, which if you saw in the other video, I've got the Black Dog set for as well. And this is a build I'm looking forward to doing next year. Is the old M3 Lee tank as well. Unusual subject, and I think was a forerunner to the Sherman. And then I've got a little Japanese type 97 Chiha tank. Colour scheme's going to be interesting on that, I must admit. But an unusual subject all the same. Then I got the OLRDG Commando car, which I think Ian off the 35th Scale Show did, and he did a superb job of that. I've actually got the aftermarket stowage set from, was it one I mentioned yesterday? I can't remember, but I've got it all the same. Then a little British 10 HP light utility car. That's going to be a nice little build to do. And at the back here I've got some Bronco World War II British Commonwealth AFE crew set. So that's another one. So that's the chief one of my kits. So I'm just going to pop them back, as you can see here. Alright, so that's that. Pop them back. He goes back in there. And he goes back in there. So that's that. Okay, now moving on, just over here is all my reference books and modelling books. So one or two I got at Telford. I got that one at Telford. Superb book. Sebastian Chief actually recommended this one to me because he bought that one and the Chieftain, but by the time I went to get the Chieftain book, it had gone. This is actually a step-by-step process build of a 1/16, I think, trumpeter King Tiger. Awesome, absolutely awesome. And then I've got the Masterclass of Terrain Modelling by Richard Windrow, as well as the follow-on book, which is going to be a good source for me. This one I actually got second-hand on eBay. And there's a book on here on the Blomvoss BV141, which I may well get the Hobby Boss kit for. And a few modelling magazines. This is one from about military vehicle special on 3 featured builds, which is nice. FAQ 2, which is about the armour. That's the new edition. Aircraft modelling FAQ, which is an awesome book. Check out Paul Bretland's review of that. This one is a brilliant book too. The Eagle Has Landed. It's about German dios made by a Japanese modeller. And then you got 3 SAM books on building combat aircraft and conversions, ship modelling, Osprey series of books, tank art as well. They're awesome books, absolutely awesome. I highly recommend them. And then obviously I've got a series of Kurowski's books on various battles, including Tigers in the Mud. There you go. Right, and then we're coming on to my figures. Right, here we go. Got a little figure of Caesar, which you see here. That's a little metal one, which is going to be interesting. And this is the hand-to-hand box set, which I've got going with my World War I dio over there at the moment. Okay. And ICM's Air Crown Crew set. That could go well with the 132nd Revell Spit, which I might get in a future date. And then obviously I've got a little German Command Staff set from Dragon. This is a recent acquisition. Nice little set that is too. This is going to be very essential. July 44. I might do that for another diorama. Winter Panzer set, German tank crew set. I've got a few Dragon ones that you can see here. This one I think I used on my Tiger from last year's build. That was a crewman figure, that one there. SES set, which I was telling you about with the Commando Jeep, so that's going to go very nicely. Little DAC Panzer Artillery Crew, Libya 41. This is an ice box set from Masterbox, so that could make a nice little dio. And the USS Airborne from Mini Art, got that as well. And you can see here a few more Dragon sets. Fallen Comrade, that's a good one. Rommel and his staff, that's a nice one. A few more Mini Art ones. Let's take a look at that one. Oh yeah, it's that set there. Russian crew set. Soviet infantry at rest, that's a nice one. This is a nice one, I think Mike Cohen used in a build from 2 years ago. And we've got the Volkstrom set from Zvezda. Zvezda's got some good figures, I will give them that. And this is going to go with my Hanamag. Let's have a look, a few more. Another Panzer set, tank crew set. Winter one. What else have I got? I've got a US tank crew set, which I think is a fairly recent release. And then obviously got German solid fuel set and drums, which is going to go with one of my trucks. A nice little dio in the future. Oh, now I've got another one of those, so I didn't realise I had two of them. Oh well, that'll come in handy. And the Battle of the Bulge, that is for a project I'm possibly going to do with a King Tiger in the future. And then a few Masterbox sets, another World War One, British Infantry, the Somme, and if you look at this figure here, looks like my granddad. I always recognise him with his tash, and he did actually take part in one of the battles of the Somme. I think he was gassed twice. Then you got a Soviet tank crew from Masterbox. And this one's going to make a beauty. I'm probably going to use one of my fog kits from another set, so there you go. So that's those. Let's pop them all back, as it were. Dig them out, but getting them back is not so easy. Right, there we go. Don't think I'm going to be able to get the lid back on this, but we'll see. Okay. Easy getting them out, but getting them back again is going to be a devil. So I'll sort that out later. Right, final box is this one here. Again, I've got the 8th Army from Dragon. That's going to make a nice set. Barbarossa 41. Nice little jerry can set from Tamiya. Oh, this is just some extras from another kit. That one I think is a Michael Wittmann resin box. I'm not going to get it out now, but I'll probably show that one off at a future date. US infantry set from Tamiya. This is a recent release, European Theatre tank crew set. Die Skatspieler, which I think you saw in a previous video. Again, I've got another diorama base from Fog Models. A nice set from Dragon, which is Panzer Regiment 7, 10th Panzer Division, Smolensk 41. Another base, that which would probably go for 1/16 figures. This is one that's going to go with the staff car I've got on my stash, which is Fräulein, What Are You Doing Today, which makes interesting poses. And this is from my diorama set, which I did for the Battle of Britain group build. I used some of the figures from this last year, which if you see up here in the corner there, I used some of the figures from that. And this is another kit, the Huey 148. I got this at a steal for about, I think it was about a tenner on eBay. German tank engine and maintenance set. That's going to be an interesting one because it actually comes with a Maybach engine in it as well. This one is German tank figure crewman 1/16, because I'm going to have a go at some figures possibly. And one of good old Rommel as well. And this is a nice little set, Totem Kampf Division Budapest 1945. Another Tamiya set, which is German Panzer Grenadier set. Oh, hang on, I've got two of these, I didn't realise that. Oh, well, that come in handy. Two Maybach engines. And this is a very good set, apparently, that Mike has actually recommended when he did a recent dio, which is the 135th German Field Commander set. Apparently, the sculpts on these are awesome. This is a recent release, which is the British Infantry on Patrol, so that would do nice for a Normandy dio. And this is another figure again. This is of a DAC crewman. You've even got this bit here that comes with the kit as well. Amazing. And then you've got another German assault troop infantry one, which would be nice for a little dio. And this is just a Allied vehicle accessory set. I'm actually thinking of getting this truck myself anyway. And this is a nice little set for an aircraft build I'll possibly do. It's a Masterbox 148 set. Again, RF pilots, World War II era, so you can use that at any period there. Nice little tent set for a vignette I'm thinking of doing. And this may well involve this set as well, possibly. Okay. And then down here I've got the set that goes with the Schwimmwagen, a reconnaissance team. US infantry again. Okay, so that goes back there. And this is a Legend production set of a German Michael Wittmann again, which I'll probably do with my Wittmann build. So there you go. And this one is the first figure I actually bought in of an airborne Red Devils Arnhem infantryman. So I'll probably be using one of the bases that I just showed you. Workable track links for an AS90, which I didn't use. And these three sets, which are made from Bravo 6 resin, are the crewmen for the Fury Sherman build. The detail on them is absolutely awesome. So I recommend you get hold of one. You can source these on eBay. And I've got a Tank Crescent Crewman. I'm not going to be able to show you that because it's all packed up. And I've got a Michael Wittmann 1/16 bust there. So all in all, guys, that is my stash. So Steve, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that. I've definitely dug out most of my stash. It's only stuff I sort of collected as I've gone along. Some of them absolute bargains, I have to say. Actually, I've done that wrong. I think it needs to go over there. It's easy getting them out, as I said, but getting them back again is a devil. So he goes back in there. He goes back in there. Right. He goes back in there. Yeah, like I said, it's not easy getting them back. I think I've got that right. Have I got it wrong? I don't know. There we go. I think that's it. As I say, this is stuff I've just collected as I've gone along, and it gives you plenty of ideas of what to do when you're doing your builds. So there you go. So what I'm going to do now is get back on the bench. I've done a little bit more work on this base, as you can see here, because I wasn't happy with the colour. I've covered it in this stuff, which is Meg's fresh mud enamel wash, and the results speak for themselves. So this is coming on, so I'm going to be concentrating on getting those sandbags painted, and then obviously this wicker basket, this wicker fence painted in. So, and then it's just a case of weathering. Figures are still waiting to be painted though, so Len, if you're watching from Chancellor North Wales, that's how far I've got with your Wellborn 1 group build at the moment, bud. But as I say, I'm happy with this wash. It's really darkened it down. It looks more authentic now. Just got to do a few more bits of weathering on it, etc. So there you go. That, Steve, is my stash. So hope you guys enjoyed watching it. So until the next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon.